Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Man in America. I'm your host, Seth Holhouse. So, in some more hopeful news, Nancy Pelosi may be forced to pass her gavel to Trump if Republicans dominate the midterm elections, which they should. And according to my guest today, Trump could actually become the Speaker of the House in 2023 without even being elected, which also means that he could potentially impeach Biden. Of course, the rhinos and legacy media are calling the idea ridiculous, but in fact, it's highly possible and even probable. And Ivan Raiklin, a lawyer and former special forces and intelligence officer, will be joining us today to explain exactly how this could unfold. But first, today's show is brought to you by Rise TV, a Patriot-owned streaming platform. With all the big tech censorship and demonetization going on right now, the subscribers at Rise TV are literally the reason I can bring you this critical information today. Over at Rise, our mission is to uncover the truth, no matter how dark and difficult, while always holding on to hope. We've got a massive content library and an amazing community of patriots. And you get to hang out with me and my guests for the second half of every show and ask your questions and share your thoughts and ideas. So if you have any specific questions for Ivan, make sure you join us on Rise TV. There's a link for a free trial in the description below. You should go ahead and click it now so you're all ready when we cut the public streams for the exclusive Q&A during the second half of the show. Also, make sure you're following me on Telegram and Truth Social at Man in America. You can also catch every episode as a podcast if you just want to listen. The links to my podcast and social media are all in the description below. Or just search for Man in America in your favorite podcast app and make sure you leave us a 5-star rating. It really helps us reach more people. And those of you that have and left a review, I really appreciate it. I was reading those last night. And folks, by now we all sense that we're in for a bumpy ride for the foreseeable future. Much of the world is going through a process that experts are calling de-dollarization, and China and Russia are leading the charge. So what does this mean? You see, the US dollar is a fiat currency, meaning it isn't backed by anything of value. The only thing that really gives our dollar real value is its demand around the world. But now, and especially under the corrupt and incompetent Biden regime, the rest of the world is fed up with the Federal Reserve printing money out of thin air and demanding to trade it for things of real value. So though the dollar is pretty strong right now, it's only because people are fleeing the European currencies, and its strength is short-lived. This is why Russia has already backed their currency with gold, and many other nations are expected to follow. But what happens if the dollar loses its global reserve status? Well, for most of us Americans, the US dollar is all we know, right? All of our hard-earned money is completely tied to it, whether it's to the stock market, our bank accounts, pensions, 401ks, etc. The value of our dollars, our life savings, could literally be wiped out in a matter of months, weeks, or even overnight. And look, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. But I believe that now, more than ever, it's a good time to consider transferring at least some of your wealth into physical gold and silver. Real-world assets have stood the test of time. And for this, I'm confident recommending Kirk Elliott. You can buy gold and silver directly, even in small amounts, or you can transfer your IRA into physical gold and silver with zero taxes or penalties. Look, I want to be really clear with you, though. You don't buy gold and silver to get rich. You do it to protect and preserve your wealth. So now's the time, folks. If you want to learn more about this, open up a new tab right now and go to goldwithseth.com. Or you can call 720-605-3900 to speak to someone right now. Kirk Elliott's team of advisors will answer all of your questions and take care of you every step of the way. Again, that's 720-605-3900 or goldwithseth.com. And that information is also in the description below. All right, folks. So I have a guest with me today, which I'm really happy to have on. And we've been trying to coordinate this for quite some time, and I think you're gonna love today's show. And look, there's some crazy stuff happening in the world, and there's a lot of doom and gloom stuff. And so what we're talking about today is a very real possibility. We're gonna have some fun with it because we could use a little bit of brevity in today's dark world. So let's go ahead and bring on my guest, Mr. Ivan Raiklin. Thank you, Ivan, so much for joining me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Seth. Hopefully it's a little bit of levity and a path
levity,
to
not
actually
brevity.
remedy all the pain that we've endured over the last 2 to 6 years at a minminimum.
Oh man, I
So
couldn't
thank you.
agree more.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be the opposite of having brevity on today's show because we're going to be talking your ears off, folks. So, Ivan, let's just start with just give us your quick background of like your history with the special forces and intelligence, but also how you got involved in the 2020 election with what happened. And before we do that, though, I want to just say quickly to the YouTube viewers, I apologize, but we're going to talk about a lot of the details of what really happened in 2020. And if we have this conversation on YouTube, then I'll get kicked off of it. It's actually, it's like by God's grace, I'm still on YouTube anyway. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, because both those places don't like the truth, please go watch on Rumble. There's a link in the description, or just go to Rumble and search for Man in America. And in general, I encourage you to start using Rumble instead of Facebook and YouTube anyway,
Mhm.
because they're just that data. In my understanding, is going straight to China. They're using it against us. So let's just use, get out of their systems altogether. So, Dom, you can go ahead and cut the Facebook and YouTube streams, and I encourage folks to come join us over on Rumble. So sorry about that, Ivan. Just want to now I want you to give us the true history without the censored version of it.
So we're completely off then
We're good enough. Yep,
of the
we're
comedy
good.
platforms. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So no, I appreciate you doing that. I know